I'm detecting multiple life forms in the deep crater of the Hellbogs.
Send your drone in. Hopefully we can get a closer look.
Doc, something doesn't seem right with my life form scan.
What do you mean? Are we losing signal?
No, it's not that. I'm detecting another life form. Something big.
Well, how big exactly?
Oh dear, Petra. What is that?
Myers, how big is a life form?
Doctor, I'm afraid that we've just discovered a monster. I am finally back from the break I took working on this adventure map. And as you can see behind me, yeah, a lot of work has gotten done on the map in my absence still. This tree in its own right is absolutely enormous. But it is not the only one of its kind. This right here is the Hellbogs. It is a biome that is so big and also so intensive on the game that I can't even fully render it in. Like, seriously, it takes a while for all of these chunks to load. It's crazy. And we had to change the world size of Minecraft even to fit this biome in. As you can see from the top left, my Y level right now is negative 183. The default limit in Minecraft is negative 64. And that's not even the lowest point in this biome, because all the way down here, if the game decides to load it in, it takes so long, I swear to God. Anyways, all the way down here at like negative 400 on the Y, we have the crater of the Hellbogs. And here is where the boss fight for this episode is located. The Hellbogs might be incredibly impressive, and it's not even fully finished. There's still a bit of work to do on the edges of the biome. But instead of me spending many egregious hours working on, like, terrain fixes and terrain tweaks, I'd rather make a giant spider boss. So strap in, because it's time for yet another HOA devlog. But before moving on with the rest of the devlog, I have a couple more important things to announce. First of all, we now have our own dedicated Discord server for this map, and the link to that will be in the description below. In the Discord, I will be posting more frequent updates for you guys to gnaw on in between doing devlogs. And secondly, we will soon be opening applications to join the development team. Do you remember the giant city I showed in the intro of this video? Yeah, we need help with that. There are a ton of buildings there, all with unfinished interiors, and the dev team at the moment only comprises of 2 people, so very soon we will be looking out for some new builders to bring onto the team. If you are interested in helping us, well then go join the Discord server, because the link to apply will be in there. So yeah, there you go, 2 very good reasons to join our Discord. Link in the description. Alright, that's enough preamble, let's get on to the rest of the devlog. So first things first, the Hellbogs is quite the dangerous area. And if you think that you can just explore this place normally from the get-go, well, you're mistaken. If I'm in survival mode, then after a few seconds you will see I start taking damage. All these spores in the air around me are not just for show, those are cytotoxic. So the player needs a way to filter out bad air. And that's where the gas mask comes in. With this on, I can just stay perfectly safe while in the Hellbogs, because all this bad cytotoxic air is completely filtered out. Which basically makes this a required item to do anything in the Hellbogs, including fighting this boss here. And speaking of which, I've done a little bit of work on the boss's AI already. So really the only logic I have so far is the spider moving to face the player and this one attack where it screams really loudly. And you can see if I go behind the spider, well then it will do a full 180-degree turn before attacking again. And while it works pretty well, it's currently a very simple fight, with it just rotating and screaming. And yeah, that's not going to be all it does. So I need to go ahead and implement the rest of the moveset. See you later. So it's been a little bit, and I've added a couple new attacks to the spider boss. The first of these is this attack where he kind of just stomps down with its legs. And the neat part is he can do that with either side, whether it be the left or the right. And the second attack is this one, where it spits out a few particles that explode into toxic clouds. And it'll just keep doing that because I haven't given it any other attacks to use when it's facing the player. So these clouds are pretty dangerous because they will give you cytotoxin. And I think now is a good time to mention what cytotoxin really is. There are actually two different types of cytotoxin, those being ones that cause necrosis and ones that cause apoptosis. Now, necrosis is really, really gross. It's like basically when you start decaying, but you're still alive. Please don't look it up. But the cytotoxin in this map instead causes apoptosis, which is basically the fancy term for DNA fragmentation, which basically means that your strands of DNA just get cut in half. And well, if you die to cytotoxin, the death message will be that you had your chromosomes unraveled. So there you go, a little bit of a science / toxicology lesson in your Minecraft video. Great. Anyways, for the next attack that the boss is gonna have, I want to use these fangs it has. These big, bloody looking things. The animation for it, which I will slow down to about 50%. You see, it bites once, and then twice, and then goes in for a third one. And this is gonna be an attack that the players will be able to parry using their shield. And if you don't know how the parry system works in this map, then go watch a previous devlog. And while you're gone doing that, I'm gonna implement this attack. It is now a couple days later, but I have finally gone around to fully implementing this attack, and my god, is it awesome. So now when I'm up close to the boss, it will do this combo of bites, and if I get hit by it, I get cytotoxin for a couple of seconds. You can, however, parry these attacks. And just like with other mini-bosses, if you parry the entire string, there is a strong follow-up. And if you parry this follow-up, then there you go, a notch at the top of the health bar fills up. And when all three notches are filled up, the boss will be stunned, allowing for you to get a very big opening. Isn't that sick? I think that's so sick. This is like one of the coolest attacks that I've coded so far. It's also a big step up in difficulty, considering the hologram only needed you to parry one attack to do the follow-up, and the entrail too. But with this guy, you need all three. So this really goes to show that later mini-bosses are going to be more complex. And well, that is actually almost everything for the spider boss's normal attacks. There is, however, one slight gimmick in the arena that I have not mentioned up to this point. These colossally large spider webs around the arena are not just there for show. The idea is I want the spider to charge forwards towards you and then stop about here. And then from there, it can jump up onto the web. And while it's on the web, it has completely different behavior. Just when you thought this mini-boss cannot get any more complex, I made it even more complex. Joke's on you! Anyways, I should probably go code that now, so see you later. Alright, so I'm marking out some things for me here on the signs. Pretty much the spider is going to run forward 20 blocks and stop, I think, here. And then it's going to jump all the way up onto the spider web. So basically, from there to there is 29 blocks forward, 22 blocks upwards, and it's going to rotate negative 22.5 degrees. And since it's going to be in the air for a second, which is 20 ticks, that is 1.45 meters or blocks per tick, forward, 1.1 up, and then 1.125 degrees per tick in rotation. Unfortunately, this upwards number is not actually fully accurate, that's just the average, and that's because I want to jump up in an arc. See, arcs typically are quadratic, but I luckily do not actually need to use like any quadratic formulas to figure this out at all. If you've ever thrown an object in real life, you'd know that it follows an arc. And that's because the object has an initial upwards velocity, and then has a downwards acceleration, that being gravity. And we're going to apply that same exact principle to this spider here. After doing a little bit of math in Desmos, I now have the initial velocity and downwards acceleration for the spider. The initial velocity is 3.1202126 blocks per... Anyways, I'm gonna go code that. Now the spider can run forwards, and sometimes it will turn around and then run back to the middle. But when it's at lower health, it will instead jump up onto the web, and then it will create a couple of summons before jumping back to the middle. And so you have to deal with these summons in tandem with the boss at the same time. And the lower health the boss has, the more spiders it will spawn in with this attack. Which may sound cool, right? No, absolutely not. In testing, this was an absolute frickin' nightmare. Because when it spawns in 5, it will sometimes just spawn in 5 more before you can even pick off the original 5 that spawned in. Meaning you just divert all of your attention to fighting the small spider spawns, and none of your attention on the boss, so you basically just can't do any damage anymore. And eventually you're just gonna be overwhelmed with just a bunch of smaller spiders spawning in, and there was really nothing that you can do about it. The fix for this, and by fix I mean the way I made my playtesters not kill me, was as simple as checking if there were any summons left alive, and if there were, it will not create any more. Meaning that if it uses the charge attack again while there's summons left, it will always do the variation where it turns around and runs back to the middle, so that way you're not completely overwhelmed. Thankfully, after making that simple change, the next playtest session went a lot better. I feel like I gave you a little bit too strong of a weapon there.
This shit's so much fun.
Dear God, he is breaking the balance of the game using the weapon that I gave him willingly. Oh no. Great job on just never parrying the boss, by the way. This is this is amazing.
Completely parryless.
Alright, finish it off. There we
Yeah.
go. He's got it. He's got it. There we go.
America! Fuck yeah!
And with that, I can now call this boss fully finished. And that is everything for this HOA devlog. While this was the largest stretch of time between 2 devlogs thus far, there was a lot of progress made in that time. And hopefully that progress will continue once we add more people to the development team. I'm not going to make any promises, but I really hope that the next devlog will be out sooner than this one was. I don't know, it really depends how much I end up procrastinating. But hey, at least I'm still faster than Devin.